let's define what makes an exciting website. I think
Yeah.
once we actually clarify those standards of what makes a website exciting, which other people can apply, then we can see how we can make hustle over everything a
It's like I would say um creative. So like
creative.
how are people using photo and video on their site because it is important.
Mhm.
So if you are selling a physical product, how are you displaying that product to people? That's what makes it exciting. How if you're selling a service, are you like showcasing the results, whether through video or for like in or through infographics or graphs or in Word and typography and stuff like that. I think with your site, honestly, like I like the typography. Like I think the fonts are great, to be honest with you. But I just feel that the the creative is really missing. And I think it's a shame because I really like the name and I really like the logo that you guys have created. But it's like I'm not seeing that on the site.
Mm. So you feel like adding more images and video to really
I don't
bring
think it's
that
adding more. I think it's replacing what's there right
Replacing it,
now.
yeah.
Like, for example, you had that graphic, which was like their Air Forces on the white background.
Mhm.
I thought that was really boring. And like the Air Forces kind of melded into the white background. I thought you could have picked a different photo. I'm not necessarily saying that every single piece of content should be curated and should only be done in-house. I'm not saying that. I think just maybe the choices should be different.
Mhm.
I definitely, I'm not sure whether or not you're going for like a more grunge and bolder look or for like a really like sleek and modern look. I'm not really sure, but I think determine which one you're going for and then pick images and photos and create videos and content that kind of work with that, because I think you can go either way. You can go like the really like
Okay.
rugged husky kind of way, like
Mhm.
I don't even know if that makes sense or not. But like, think of like Ford F-150 thing. Like you're familiar with that creative,
It's like
right?
tough, yeah,
Yes.
tough,
You could
bold,
go that way,
masculine, yeah.
right? Or you can go like a really like clean and sleek kind of a method. Like think like Tesla,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
So I think you guys kind of have to figure out what that is and then feed that into all the creative on the site. Personally, if you decide to go with more of a Ford F-150, then I'd advise like maybe changing the fonts to kind of match that. Not necessarily doing anything crazy, but even just like changing the font weights, making the font weight a bit bolder kind of evokes that emotion of like toughness, right?
Okay.
Or you can change the font weight to another way, make it maybe more lighter, and that's a bit more sleek and stuff like that. So I think
Mhm.
that's the main thing. I feel like there's like this disconnect between the name you have, which is awesome, the logo you have, which is great. I personally love the colors because yellow is my favorite color,
Yeah.
but it's just like the visuals of the website, I think, are doing it a disservice. I think like the layouts are fine. I think the only thing I thought was weird was like, I feel like the logo that's on the about page isn't about the logo that's on the top of the site. Like maybe y'all should like make sure that that's kind of connected. It looked different.
Consistent? Okay.
Yeah.
Consistent? Okay.
Maybe also something you could try is using a page builder. I know Shopify is releasing like their own like integrated page builder in the next couple of months, but maybe use something like Pagefly to kind of build out your pages a bit more. So
Pagefly, what's that?
it's like an app, and it's like a landing page builder, but you can use it to literally rebuild every single page on your Shopify store, including product pages, the home page, blog page, etc. So if you're looking to have more flexibility on the platform, you may want to consider using something like that to be able to really like go out there and do some crazy stuff. But that's what I think. Like I said, I like the visual brand. I just feel that the creative is sorely lacking.
Okay.
Got you. All right, that's fair.
That's
That's
good.
a fair critique.
Fair critique, yeah.
Most
But then
definitely.
again, like y'all were working on that anyway, and then COVID happened. So
Hey, a lot of people's businesses got halted by this whole COVID, right? So
yeah,
we're just joining the club.
Yeah, right. No, it's more so pivoting and adjusting to it, you know. So like shipping times for the product have slowed to like the slowest.
Yeah, it's three
Even with
weeks,
other
man.
things, you know, like
ugh,
the clippers I'm trying to get to shave my hair, like anything I've ordered has been like drastically slower.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I ordered a new laptop at the beginning of the month, and it just got here like yesterday. So
Damn, 20 days.
yeah.
That's intense. But yeah. All right. Let's dive back in. So what do you think makes a quality website? Is it the creative, the UX? Let's dive in.
I think all of it. Like, I think you really can't have, like, you can have a website that's completely text and with just typography and like playing around with fonts, it could look absolutely amazing and beautiful. I think one thing I really don't like is I don't like people who design for designers. So I don't like web designers who make this like crazy website only to like impress other designers and completely forget the client or the actual person or the people who are coming to actually use the website. Like that's one thing I really, really don't like. So I think it all ties in together. I think not one aspect is better than the other. I definitely think you can, depending on what your brand is, you can definitely dial back on creative if you have like really strong typography and really great content. Because let's not forget, like content is also a really important part of a website. And I think people really forget about that. They spend so much time doing product photography and doing like video that they forget that your website is not only photos and videos, there's also words and stuff like that. So I think all of it is important, but if I was to rank it, I definitely think user experience is number one. I think that number two would be creative. Number three, I would say content, and then everything else kind of after that.
People also talk about like website speed, right? Because speed also plays into customer experience and how well like your page loads. Because if right now we're in an era, if something doesn't work, we're like immediately click the X button and we exit the page. What are some tools that people can use to really test their website speed and see if it's actually like fast on mobile and desktop?
So I know that Google has like a page speed analyzer. That's like number one. I hate it though. Like I could never get things past the green line ever. Like
it's bullshit. It's bullshit. They'll rank Apple website like a 70%. So I'm like, okay, at that. It's a good for the audience. Just take that into consideration.
Context,
yeah. But I think another really good one I think is like unbiased and I think is actually really, really in depth is called gtmetrics.com. And that is like really like crazy. Like it really goes in depth as to like what needs to be done and what can be done on your website. Like I know especially for like WordPress sites, it's like a beast. Like it'll tell you like this particular image can be compressed down further 50% kind of. So it really goes in depth. So I love that website. I love using that resource to find out my page speed, find out how heavy my pages are, and basically know what to like optimize and to check for websites across the board. When it comes to like WordPress, I have like a couple of like plugins. I don't really know much about like Shopify optimization, but yeah, GTmetrix, like it doesn't matter what build your site is on, gtmetrics.com will help you.
What apps do we suggest for WordPress?
There's so many. Ones that I've used that I really like include Auto Optimize. I like using Smush for images that helps you like compress images. There's this really great plugin called Asset Speedup, I think. And essentially what's really cool about it is that like on every single page, you can determine which plugins and which scripts are activated. So for example, if you have WooCommerce on your site, WooCommerce is a super heavy plugin, but people don't need to use or access WooCommerce scripts or files on the like homepage, the about page, or the contact page. So with Asset, whatever, I don't remember the name, Asset Speedflow or whatever, you can literally tell, like, say to each page, like, don't load anything for WooCommerce, don't load anything for WooCommerce, don't load anything for WooCommerce, and that automatically makes your pages much faster because it's only loading the scripts that each particular page actually needs to provide content and information to people. I really love that plugin. What else is there?
Yoast.
I hate Yoast. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I think it's really heavy. I think it's really heavy, and I'm looking at other things. I've heard a lot of good things about Rank Math. And this other one that came out like really recently and it's doing like really, really good. I think it was Rank Math, but I want to switch because I don't know. I don't like it.
Oh, so you use Yoast and you hate it.
I use Yoast. Like I only use Yoast and I don't like it because I really feel like it brings down the speed of a site drastically.
It has affected my speed of my website, but it has affected SEO as well, though. That's the only thing. And it does, for the audience listeners, Yoast is a plugin, WordPress plugin that allows you to add meta descriptions to your website. And it has like easy UI or UX to add them in. It's very intuitive, and it also has red lights, yellow lights, and green lights to detail how well you've added in your keywords. So to make sure you're ranking well on every page that you create or post that you make. So yeah, it's a great plugin in that sense, but in terms of site speed, it can affect your website.
I feel like it's so heavy, like so heavy, but what can you do?
What can you do? Actually, what can you do? Like you said, you can use Smush, which has helped. What else can you do? Oh, also compress your videos.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one because videos are way heavier than your images. So always be sure to compress your videos before you upload them, just because it can make a real difference, like a strong difference between.
I would even go as far as like don't upload video to your site. Like upload it to YouTube, unlist it, and then copy link back into your website.
Yeah.
It's like uploading your heavy like video is just like, even if it's like 5 MB, that's like way too much. And like Smush really helps like compress the images as well. I think those are the ones like I really like. And I think if you're not going to use any of those, you could also use like some caching plugins. So like WP Cache, is that what it's called? I don't remember.
I think WP Cache is a good one. One thing I was going to mention is making your video into a GIF, like an extended GIF. So it can if you're not trying to have like a super intense video, if you just want to have something light and you want to have it quick, a GIF can really save the site speed and still get the video through. So it's still like a eye-catching website and eye-catching content. So it's one thing to add as well. You know. Yeah.
Nice.
But I'm not a web designer. I do it upon request, but I'm not. It's not my cup of tea.
Your forte, bro.
Well, I learned.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not my forte. I like the Kia forte. Never mind. That was a bad dad joke. That was horrible.
That's such a good. I loved it though.
You love that one?
I like it. I like the corny jokes, bro. That's my thing, man.
Thank you for watching that video. To see the next video, click right over here, and to subscribe, click right over here. Peace.